Happy Friday. I have another video I wanted to make today. It comes in spurts. I'm really, except for when I'm with my kids who could legitimately call me a monkey mouth, I try not to say too much if it's not going to provide a value. And so today's video, I want to talk about cows, why the liberals want to take your steaks. Um, I'm sure some of you have heard that. And there is some story behind where that comes from. So, and this is off the top of my head. So I hope I'm telling it right. And I will ask Central Valley Advocate to do an interview, and I'll have an interview with them. I have one already with Sandra Celedon, who is a phenomenal, incredible advocate. You might want to check that one out. So back to the cows. So as I understand it, part of the problem with cows is that a long time ago, there were a lot of small farms, and people weren't concentrating herds of cows by the thousands. Um, because of economies of scale, it became more efficient to grow acres and acres of the same kind of crops, or to have a cow farm instead of be 100 cows and there's several farms scattered throughout the region. They would concentrate them in one place, and now there's 2,000 cows there. And so if you drive along Highway 99 or parts of I-5, you will go through California Central Valley and experience stretches of highway where the ammonia in the air is overwhelming from their urine and, and feces. And so these problems weren't as big when farms were smaller and scattered throughout. But when everything was concentrated because it was more efficient, then these problems were created. And in addition to the smell, you have these manure lagoons that are also providing a smell, and methane. More recently, that methane's been captured for use as fuel, and that kind of incentivizes those farms, because they're also making money off the cow poop now, and it could be considerable. But and that, them doing that is not just for profit; it's to help reduce greenhouse gases, which lead to climate change. So if they're capturing it and using it, and it's not going into the atmosphere, that is a really good thing. But that doesn't eliminate the fact that the people who live around there, and most of the time they happen to be Mexicans, in these little towns, and there's everybody there, but these are largely Mexican communities. They have to live with those smells. They have to worry about the health effects of what those what the ammonia in the air does on hot days, on cold days. How what else is there, any groundwater contamination? And so it's not that cows per se are bad, it's that concentrating them into these huge conglomerates of a farm creates issues for people in the community. And so I think that was some of the arguments against these cattle farms that and I think they're dairy farms, because I see free ranging cattle as well on hills. But that's some of it. And I think another part of it is the amount of water it takes to grow the crops to feed the cows, and how much water goes into like one steak. I'm not gonna pretend I don't love steaks. I eat steaks. I guess kind of regularly even, but I do believe that there's a lot of water going into having one steak, and there would be a lot less water going into some fruit or some carrots or some other type of crops. Um, and if folks didn't eat steaks or hamburgers or carne asada, um, it would greatly reduce the need for water. It would reduce the amount of ammonia and smells that people have to deal with, next to that live next to these farms. And so there is benefits to reducing your beef consumption, that are of benefit to society and other people. So that's kind of where that comes from. And again, that said, I do eat beef. And as I make this video, I'm thinking that maybe I need to eat less beef, a lot less beef. Hearing it out loud, I don't know. I guess I kind of made the argument for myself a little bit to eat less beef. And I'll post in the link an article to the water consumption that goes to feeding the cows. That said, I hope this provided some clarity. I will invite someone who works on these issues specifically for an interview, and and they can clarify any mistakes I've said, or answer questions that maybe I didn't ask right now. So thank you and have a good weekend.